me money was unbelievably tight. After paying rent, he said they had nothing left for groceries. According to him, the boys wouldn't even have food for school lunches. Hearing that immediately broke my heart. My nephews meant everything to me. I asked how much they needed. He said $300 should be enough until payday in 2 weeks. For a family of 5, that sounded reasonable. Without hesitation, I agreed to help. I even offered to pick him up and take him grocery shopping, but he quickly came up with an excuse. He claimed he was too busy that night and planned to shop the following morning instead. Then he asked if I could simply drop off cash or write him a check. Since he didn't have a working vehicle and lived about 30 minutes away, I agreed. An hour later, I drove over and handed him the money. He thanked me repeatedly. Everything seemed completely normal. At least, that's what I thought. The next morning, while I was at work, I decided to call my brother and remind him to deposit the check. Instead of him answering, my sister-in-law picked up the phone. I had no idea that one conversation was about to expose everything. I asked if my brother was home. She casually replied, "No, he's out of town." That immediately confused me. I asked if work had sent him somewhere. She laughed. "No, he's on that road trip." I froze. What road trip? She sounded genuinely surprised that I didn't know. You remember? He's in Chicago for that Dungeons & Dragons tournament. He and his friends carpooled. He needed the $300 for gas, food, and the trip. For a moment, I couldn't even speak. Finally, I asked, "You're telling me the money I gave him for groceries went toward a gaming tournament?" Without missing a beat, she answered, "Calm down. It's not like you're hurting for money. You can afford it." I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I reminded her that I'd agreed to help because my nephew supposedly needed food. If my brother could afford a road trip across the country, then clearly he wasn't desperate for groceries. Her response made my blood boil. "So you'd rather let your nephew starve?" That was enough. I ended the call immediately. A few weeks later, my brother called again. Same desperate voice. Same heartbreaking story. No money. Barely enough for rent. Nothing to feed the kids. But this time, I already knew exactly how his game worked. This time, I didn't argue. I simply agreed to help. Then I told him something he wasn't expecting. "I have tomorrow off. I'll pick you up around 9 in the morning, and we'll go shopping together." He immediately tried to talk me out of it. "It would be easier if you just dropped off cash." That's when I knew. He wasn't interested in groceries. He wanted money. I calmly reminded him about the last time he'd asked for help. "So you can go on another road trip?" Silence. I made my position clear. "If your kids really need food, I'll gladly take you to the grocery store. I'll buy whatever they need, but I'm not giving you cash." The next morning, I picked him up and drove him to the store. Sad, he wandered through the aisles and ended up choosing barely $20 worth of groceries. That alone told me everything I needed to know. If his family had truly been starving, the cart would have been full. Instead, he bought the bare minimum. When I dropped him back home, he got out of my car without saying a single word. No thank you. No appreciation. Nothing. Oddly enough, I wasn't even disappointed. I finally had proof that my instincts had been right all along. That evening, I called my nephews just to make sure they'd eaten. They excitedly told me they'd had takeout pizza for dinner. Thankfully, they were too young to understand the games their parents were playing. From that day forward, I never gave my brother cash again. If he claimed he needed groceries, school supplies, or household essentials, I'd happily buy those things directly. Funny enough, after that, he never accepted my offers. Some people don't actually want help. They just want money.